Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.
Well, we've been hearing a lot about the business applications for generative AI, but what impact will it have on the broader Irish economy? So, will it increase unemployment figures, or will it merely just mean that people will be completing different types of jobs? Catherine O'Doherty from SIA Partners joins us now to share her insights. Catherine, before we discuss the adoption of AI here in Ireland, remind us about SIA Partners and the services which it provides.
Yeah, of course, Karl. So at SIA Partners, we're management consultants, but we augment traditional consulting with a blend of AI, design, transformation capabilities, all to really offer a superior service to our clients who are facing, lots of challenges in today's world. We're a global organisation, but we have a local presence that's been in the market in Ireland for 15 years. So really through utilising the global experience and what we can bring to our clients from that perspective, along with our local capability, we feel we can deliver a lot of value to our clients.
AI has been the most exciting development in technology for the past few years, particularly as Gen AI tools like ChatGPT have now become mainstream. But how have Irish companies reacted to these technologies from an implementation perspective?
Yeah, I think there has been a lot of talk about Gen AI, particularly in the last year or two. It has definitely mushroomed into people's awareness more than ever before, I think. But the use of AI in industry and society isn't new at all. And many companies have used AI models for years for a range of tasks, such as detecting fraud or defects, optimizing supply chains, drug discovery, predictive maintenance, or even chatbots. We'll all be able to relate to chatbots from a customer service point of view. And I suppose in our daily lives, algorithms such as machine learning and NLP or natural language processing within the e-commerce world has obviously been, huge. So, think of the likes of Alexa and what Amazon does. But generative AI has really, come to the fore in the last couple of years because of advances in large language models. And that has really increased the scale and scope of generative AI capability in organizations. So I think to this point, and up until recent years, organizations have really leveraged AI in the sense of how they can bring it into their processes, maybe making manual processes more automated, how they can leverage data, how they can get the most out of their data, how they can service their customers. But now the AI is getting super intelligent and can be used with even greater capability than before.
And earlier this year, it was reported that 49% of Irish workforce are now using Gen AI. But in your opinion, Catherine, what is stopping the remaining half of Irish businesses from using it?
Yeah, there's probably an element of the unknown there. Lots of organizations, and depending on their size and their scale, maybe haven't dipped their toe into AI or maybe fully don't understand the opportunities that AI can bring. And that's a really important point for organizations to start thinking about and to start challenging themselves around, are there parts of their businesses where they could really leverage AI to bring them new efficiencies, to help them be more competitive, to help them stay relevant with their customers. And ultimately, these are some of the questions that businesses will have to face into as AI continues to grow.
From your own insights, have you any examples of how businesses are using this from a customer service perspective?
Yeah, I suppose at the really basic level from a customer service point of view, lots of organisations will use chatbots, and I suppose we'll all have different experiences of chatbots. Some of them are quite basic and might use AI but not generative AI. But some will use Gen AI whereby that large language model is sitting behind it and the model is quite smart. So the bot or the chatbot is able to really interact with the customer, in a way that a human might be able to, or to be able to give as much answers as possible before getting through to that, to the person. I do think lots of people, though, have had different experiences around chatbots. I think there's varying degrees of success, and that's really important to call out as well. But, I think overall organizations can be quite clever in terms of how they leverage AI in things like customer service.
And are there particular demographics in the workforce that AI technologies may be most beneficial for?
Yeah, in terms of the demographics, the IDA recently completed a report in conjunction with LinkedIn and Microsoft Ireland. And they looked at across the three generations. They looked at Generation X, Millennials, and Gen Z, and basically found that Generation X, which is the cohort that's born between 1965 and 1980, are probably most I guess, impacted or will have the most opportunity in terms of how AI will disrupt what they do. And how they did that, I suppose, was they looked at the jobs that these people typically hold and analysed them in terms of where AI can disrupt or augment those jobs, and found that the Gen X followed by Millennials would be most impacted. And I guess what that means is not necessarily that those jobs would be completely displaced. It just means that a lot of the work changes, and people will have more time to spend on activities that are maybe more higher value, as opposed to work that might be on the more manual or lower value end of the scale.
What other insights were available from that IDA report that was recently published?
Yeah, so the report was quite insightful in terms of, I guess, how it looked at the impact. So it really showed that, Generation X has a lot to gain from using Gen AI tools to really enhance productivity and to undertake, real value add work. It also looked at the impacts by sector, and it showed that technology, information and media are the sectors that will really have the greatest potential to harness Gen AI, but also acknowledges that there's cross-sector opportunities there. And also called out that Ireland is in a strong position to really maximise the potential of Gen AI by accelerating the shift to a skills-based labour market. So overall, I think they really looked at the position of Gen AI in Ireland and how in Ireland we can really harness the value of it.
And Catherine, with your background in organisational change management, what approach should employers take to upskill their staff in the area of AI?
Yeah, I mean, it's really critical that organisations who are using AI to transform really consider what that means to their workforce. So, there's lots of studies that suggest that AI will not have a negative impact on the number of jobs that are available. It actually says that it will have a positive impact, so that there will be more jobs in the future because of AI. But what the research does say is that the types of jobs will change, and that the skills required to do those jobs will change. So ultimately, what organisations really need to do to be successful in this space is to understand, first of all, what's the opportunity that's there for them with AI? How can it help them be more efficient, be more competitive, be more relevant? And where are they on that journey? And as they look to use AI to transform their organisation and to enhance it, also looking at what they need to do from a people point of view, from a workforce skill point of view, to really bring, to do that journey in parallel with the technology as well, and create skill roadmaps and transition roadmaps to help their workforce transition with the technology.
And specifically, what are the skills that are most valued within an AI-powered world of work?
Yeah, so I suppose with the nature of AI is that, lots of work will be disrupted by AI, and these are potentially skills like around, work that's around does a lot of data analysis or manual entry of work or manual processing. And those kind of tasks, I suppose, or that type of work can be either augmented by AI, so, completely done by AI, or disrupted by it. But ultimately, some skills are completely insulated from AI as well, and maybe not completely, but definitely are complementary to AI. And there are things like, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, a lot of the soft skills like relationship management, and, really being a safeguard from maybe the ethical challenges of AI or the biases that AI can create, and that's really where a lot of the skills will come to the fore from a people point of view.
For any business owner listening to this morning's show that's interested in taking on a head of AI within their own organisation, what skills should they look for in that person?
Yeah, I suppose looking for someone who really understands this landscape. It's changing quite quickly, and there is a lot of pace behind how quickly the AI world and technology world is developing. So really having someone who is connected into that space and is very much in touch with that part of that world, and probably someone who is quite innovative as well, who ultimately can help an organisation challenge their own status quo. It is quite a significant mindset shift for businesses and organisations, and so can feel a little bit uncomfortable for people. But ultimately, you're trying to remain competitive, you're trying to remain relevant, and someone who will challenge you in that space would bring a lot of benefit.
And there may be some employers also listening this morning that are thinking that AI is still in its infancy and so much is going to change over the next 12 or 18 months that maybe they're going to sit back and see how the market matures and develops. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I can definitely understand why people might think that. I think it has been evolving quite quickly, and I suppose the other thing that organisations are waiting to see how it pans out is regulation as well. So the AI directive is underway and will be key to how AI is used in organisations. I think at the same time, though, while there will be an element of it maturing and maybe normalising, I don't see why people can't still remain curious or start to look at where their own organisations can benefit from this, so that ultimately you try to get ahead of the competition and not be left behind.
And finally, Catherine, on a macro level, what benefits can harnessing the potential of AI have on the overall Irish economy?
Yeah, I mean, Ireland as an economy, I suppose, is very well positioned in terms of in this space, in that we have obviously a really strong IT and tech sector with numerous multinational tech companies which have a really significant presence for us. The government is actively supporting AI initiatives as well through funding, frameworks, strategic plans, and also, like, from a workforce point of view, we have the highest level of third level attainment and highest level of STEM graduates per capita in the EU. And our educational institutes are offering a really strong AI-related programs and producing, lots of talent out of them. So we've quite an innovative ecosystem here in terms of the sector presence that we have, the government and the educational supports that are there, and that general innovation ecosystem that we're building, all really positioning as well to be at the heart of this AI transformation.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was Catherine O'Doherty, the Associate Partner with SIA Partners, and I would like to thank her for her contribution to this morning's show.
Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.